The iPhone 12 was released on October 25th, 2020. That has already been 3 months since its release. I've been using the iPhone 12 as my daily driver since release day, and I have no regrets. But with all tech, you kind of get curious about what is next. So in this video, I'll be going over what I like about the iPhone 12, having using it over the last 3 months, and what I would like to have in the iPhone 12 X. Before I get into the video, I want to ask for your help to grow my channel by hitting the subscribe button. It truly goes a long way and it motivates me to continue making content that you enjoy. Let's talk about the design. The iPhone 12 was the first iPhone that I was excited for in years. Previously, I had still been using the iPhone XR as I had no real reason to upgrade. But when I saw the new design of the iPhone 12, I was sure it would be my next iPhone. Those edges, the flat display, and the nostalgic feel that you get when you're looking at the iPhone lured me in. I mean, look at it compared to this older iPhone 4, or is this an iPhone 5? I really don't know. It looks like a futuristic take on the iPhones of the past. The iPhone, of course, is a squared phone. This makes it easier to grip. As someone who regularly drops their phone, it's amazing that I have not broken it yet. It feels more sturdy and allows good grip when holding the phone. Apple decided to keep the notch this year and I'm not a fan of it. I love Face ID, but I do prefer the punch hole cameras as it allows the display to have a more complete look. Of course, our brains tend to make us forget that there even is a notch most of the time, but still. Overall though, I have no real complaints about the design, and I think Apple making all their products look like this is definitely in their game plan for design. Just look at the rumored MacBook Pro and also the 2020 iPad Pro. At the back of the phone, we have two cameras. They're both 12 megapixel, but one is an ultra wide and the other is not. The ultra-wide camera is honestly a welcome change for me personally. If I wanted to add a cool element to my photos, I tend to use the wide angle. The non-wide angle camera takes better photos quality-wise, and it's the one you should use if you want to take the crisp photos. The photos look as good as you can expect with an iPhone. They do not blow out the highlights, it works well in low light, and images tend to be very clear. The downside is there are some weird lens flares when the lens is pointing directly at a light source. And it's not in the anamorphic cool sense, so it does look kind of strange. The iPhone 12 can shoot slow-mo and 4K video. The video quality is amazing so far. This whole video was shot on the iPhone 12. Okay, I'm kidding. I shot it with the A7 III, but there's a lot of you that can benefit from shooting with just the iPhone as their main video shooter. Just get some good audio equipment and you should be fine. The problem with the iPhone cameras has less to do with the camera and more to do with the workflow. The HDR features are amazing, don't get me wrong, but if productivity and saving time when you're editing videos is your main goal, you're going to be better off using any other camera. And the reason why I say this is because the workflow of editing your videos in Final Cut sucks. You have to do some fine tuning to get your Final Cut library to recognize that the clips are shot in HDR. If you are working on a timeline with non-HDR clip, it's sort of a headache to manage, but it's definitely possible. And for that reason, I don't really use the iPhone 12 as my main video shooter, not even for TikTok. But follow me on TikTok though. The video camera is arguably the best video cameras on a mobile device, but I find it much easier to shoot videos on my trusted mirrorless camera. Battery life is great. While I've not been outside of my house for a long commute due to the global situation, I find that I don't need to plug in as often as iPhones of the past. I could spend the day texting, scrolling through Instagram, reading emails, and also making phone calls. At around 6 to 7 p.m., I'm at around 40%, which is not bad, considering I tend to be on my phone all day. Standby time is great, and if I'm not using the phone, the battery pretty much remains full. So you can count on this phone, but it doesn't hurt to bring a battery. Speaking of battery, the iPhone 12 brings MagSafe to the iPhone lineup. And while I hate using Apple's version of MagSafe for the iPhone, I know that there are some cool things coming, like this magnetic, truly wireless MagSafe charger that I did do a video on, link in the description. The power of the A14 is not to be understated. The iPhone 12 is no slouch, and it can be used to edit 4K footage like butter. I don't know why, but I always say butter when I'm calling something smooth. Get used to it. The phone can play intense games and crush anything you can throw at it. At this point, I don't know what's next for Apple, as they've already hit a plateau in terms of speed. I mean, yes, it's technically faster than the iPhone 11, but can you really notice? The iPhone 12 experience has been smooth and lag-free while I've been using it over the last 3 months. I don't really remember any time that it froze on me, which is great, and honestly, that's the whole Apple experience, but I'll save that for another video. Okay, so that's what I liked about the iPhone. It's time to talk about the things that I'm not a fan of, and I hope that Apple changes in the iPhone 12X. Is that what it's called? Please, someone confirm. First, something that I prefer on all of my devices is USB-C. Having USB-C on my iPhone will make it the ultimate productivity tool. Lightning is annoying. I don't like it because it's just an extra cord needed. I'd much rather carry around my USB-C cord. I mean, the MacBook has it, the iPad has it as well. Outside of Apple though, my camera, my RGB light, my iPad keyboard case, almost everything that I use professionally has a USB-C port. I know Apple will probably go wireless before going to full USB-C, but please just do it for me because I hate MagSafe. Another thing that I don't like about the iPhone 12 is that I feel that once the dust settles, you start to realize that it really can't do much more than the iPhone 11. I think it's about time that Apple pushes their limits a bit further with the iPhone and do something more innovative. Yes, over time, little updates that they add in small increments make a huge difference when you add them all up. But it would be great if Apple showed us what else the iPhone can do. It's the first smartphone that made it very easy to do most tasks. Sorry, BlackBerry. But since then, there's not been any major innovations. I'm hoping with the new iPhone or the iPhone 13, we'll get a killer feature or maybe a major redesign like the rumored folding iPhone. For the new iPhone, I hope Apple decides to switch to an in-glass fingerprint sensor. I'd hope for this on the iPhone 12, and with the pandemic, unlocking your phone with your face has become pretty impractical. Another cool alternative would be to add the fingerprint sensor to the top like they did with the iPad Air 4 and still have the Face ID option. That way we can please both. Overall though, the iPhone 12 is amazing. If you made it this far, you're a champ and I appreciate your support. Speaking of support, I worked with a designer to create a minimal icon pack for iOS 14, and if you're interested in that and you want to support the channel, go ahead, click the link in the description. It's really cheap. I think it's like $1.99 or $3.99 Canadian dollars, and they look clean and minimal. And yeah, so just check out the link if you want to support. Overall, the iPhone 12 is an amazing device, and I'm going to confess, most of my gripes besides USB-C is reaching for straws. The phone is the best I've owned in years. It's fast, takes amazing pictures, has great battery life, and has a modern, updated design. But it's been released for 3 months and some people might be looking forward to the next iteration of the iPhone. If you're one of those people, I'd say no need to wait. Buy the iPhone now. It's still one of the top phones in general, and it will be until Apple announces the upgraded version of it in the fall. Perhaps if it was June, I might say go for a new iPhone, just wait a little bit longer. This one is a safe bet. I'm thinking of purchasing a Pixel 4a as my secondary phone, so if you want a full review on that or even a comparison, let me know in the comments. But yeah, what are you guys looking forward to with the new iPhone 13 or the iPhone 12X? What have you liked so far about the iPhone 12? Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts on this video, and subscribe if you enjoy it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.